I'm going live. I'm doing this. I'm winning over technology, everybody. Very warm welcome to my live stream. Please, YouTube, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, if you can see me nice and sharp. And please, Facebook, would you kindly let me know if this is working. Browser update, very important detail. So that must have happened overnight. All right, everybody. Well, very warm welcome. I thought I'd pick up a little bit on my live streams that I used to do while we were still in California for a while. Just talking about how I like to approach ear training. I have a course that I do, I have a course and I have a live practice group. And the next live practice group is starting this week. So if you are interested in that, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a teaser because I hear this over and over from people. I just need the tab to learn a song. I don't feel free improvising over chord progressions. When I'm being asked to come up with a bass line, I don't even know where to start, right? And oftentimes we resort to learning theory, which of course, if you know my work, is one of my favorite bits to resort to. But it's easy to forget the two most important tools that we as musicians have, and those are the ears. And it's a beautiful package if you learn ear training at music theory together, because music theory, the way I like to see it, they are shapes, patterns on the fretboard, they are sounds, they are concepts, numbers, scale degrees, intervals, chords, right? So this whole thing provides a beautiful package. But in this class, what I particularly want to help people with is being able to take a tune off the recording and being able to improvise freely or in the style of that particular tune. So it's called my ear training. It's called my ear training practice group. And Fred, if you're on, you would kindly post those links. That would be fantastic. I just want to say hello to the folks here. We have some, we have 39 people live. Welcome, everybody. I see that YouTube's given me is somebody from YouTube, can you let me know if this is working? And we got Facebook thumbs up. Thank you so much. I only see Facebook user unless you put in your name. So I apologize if I can't say a personal hello. All right, everybody. So, there's Alan. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. That takes me way back to the Bay Area, doesn't it? Good to see you. Very cool. So I'm gonna pull up something that I've prepared. I always make, I like to hit things from all angles, shall we say. So I'm gonna give you a couple of examples here. Let me see. Courses. So I have some assets for you, and if you would like them, you can access them. They are shapes, tracks. And if you want them to practice with them, then let me give them to you right now. Here they are. So link to use the assets, and here we are. So these are the links to use the assets. I hope this is coming through in YouTube as well as Facebook. For me, it looks like it's only, I can only post to YouTube. So Fred, I'm gonna send you that. If you would put that into the Facebook world for me, I'm going to email you that in a good old-fashioned way. So what this is, these are tracks that you can use, and here they come. It's the first link, I believe, and here it is in your inbox. Thank you so much. No problem. We'll be okay with that for now. So there are tracks, there are shapes, and one of these shapes I'm going to share with you right now. Can't find Facebook stream. Oh, okay, but Lila, you made it to the YouTube. All right, YouTube's giving me thumbs up. Okay, great. Thank you. Facebook, you have to be either in the group or be friended in my profile. So if you are on my page, then I don't think it streams over there. All right, so one thing I like starting with, just because it is such an important music theory bit, and it is something, when I have a student come into my studio who I don't quite know yet, right? And usually one of the things I ask them is like, can you play a major pentatonic? Can you play a minor pentatonic? And oftentimes they give me quizzical looks. And then I go, well, do you know? And then oftentimes they light up and then they go, oh, yeah, definitely I know that. Or do you know this one? How's the bass coming through, folks? Okay, so that was a minor pentatonic. play that funky music. And that was a major pentatonic, my girl, right? So lots of those shapes you probably have encountered, you have intuited, or maybe there are some very advanced folks on here who know their major minor pentatonics in all keys all over the fretboard, right? Which is what you want to do. And know it all over the fretboard, not just be stuck with this one shape or having to, play it with little boxes. There are several ways how you can play pentatonics, 5 shapes actually, all over the fretboard. You want to be able to know those. And diagonal, this way, on 1 string, on 2 strings. Pentatonics are so great because they are so symmetric, This is me playing pentatonics on just 2 strings. Let me know how the bass is coming through, guys. How is the bass coming through? Fairly clearly, Seth. Was that the bass? Bass sound. I hope so. So this is me playing a minor pentatonic on just 2 strings. And you can see all these beautiful shapes that it makes, right? This one is asymmetric, so it has a line this way, and then it's straight here, right? And then once I'm here, then here, of course, it repeats, right? But then I have this little box, big box, and little box, right? This is so accessible. It's amazing. And then you can do, really fun, fast things, or you can do, you can do things like that, which sound really virtuosic and are fun to do and effective, And so shapes, sounds, and so forth. So I'm going to show you one of those shapes. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Share. Wish me luck. Share screen. Screen 1. Here it is. Okay, so this is, if you got this link from Fred, if you would keep posting that link to assets, that's the one. If you wanted to print that, download it, it's yours. It's my gift to you on this fine Tuesday. So a call and response with the A minor pentatonic, right? So there are lots of different drills that I do with this. And the shape it's in my theory book, this book. It's in my theory book. It's also in this book, the pattern system. So everything I teach, I like to do systematically all over the fretboard, in all keys, so that whatever comes your way, you're gonna be sure to know it. But this shape I call the upside down boot. Why? Because it makes the shape of a boot on the fretboard. Now listen up, when you're doing this, when you're playing this, make sure that you play 1 finger per fret, because if you don't, you're shorting yourself, you're making it actually harder for yourself. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna tell you fingering numbers, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, so it's 2 notes per string. Pentatonics are so nice to play because 2 notes per string. We got 2 plucking fingers, right? So index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. And when you go down, do it the exact same way. See this view on my right hand, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. When you go down, same way, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. When you went up those strings, your fingers already knew how to do index, middle alternating, right? When you come down, do it the same way. You make your life much, much easier if you don't have to constantly reinvent the right hand, right? So index, middle alternating. But this beautiful shape, upside down boot, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D. Those are the notes. And if I'm viewing that from the standpoint of an A minor pentatonic, then this is the root and this is the root, right? That's fairly important because I can also fit another scale into this shape, which is, question to the peanut gallery, what other scale could I play with that exact same shape? Turn down your volume. Okay, let me know if the bass needs anything. Okay, thank you Facebook, thank you YouTube. Hey MJ, good to see you. So my question was, in that shape, there's an A minor, and you can see the root here and here, but there's another shape that's in it. Because major and minor scales share the same. I know there's this delay. C major, yes. C major. Now you can, if I first played the A minor, it's gonna sound like A minor, right? And so now I'm gonna clear your palette by doing this. Right? So there's your major pentatonic. And then you can clearly hear it, right? It's a little bit less intuitive fingering wise because the lowest note is not the root. And that, by the way, is something I highly, highly, highly recommend you wrap your mind around, because the bass is not set out for always having the lowest note be the root. You actually cut yourself very much short if you come from that perspective. So lowest note is not always the root. Okay, now for our good old ear training, what we're going to do for this particular drill is I want you to, and I hope you can see me as well as your as my screen here. Let me know if you can see the screen. So you see there's a little box up there. Okay, there's a little box up there, and that box has the root here, the flat 7 here, the flat 3 here, and the 4 here. What are these cryptic numbers? They're scale degrees. And scale degrees in my mind are not just cryptic numbers that are disconnected. Scale degrees in my mind are sounds. Da, that's the root, right? Now if I think flat 7, that would be a whole step below. Can you hear that in your mind? Can you sing that? Da, that's my root. Whole step down. Da, right? That's a whole step down, and that's my 7. Now, if I go back in my mind to the root, da, now I want the minor third. That's the next corner of my box, right? Da, da, right? And now I'm going to go another whole step up. That's my 4th, sorry. Da, 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 da. That sequence of notes, okay, makes a certain amount of sense because I'm putting it into the context of A minor. And I could put this little box into all sorts of contexts, by the way. This could be out of D minor, listen. And then those numbers would now be 5, 7, 1. 1, 7, 5, 4, 3, 1. Right? That's D minor, but I'm in A minor. This is my root. And then that's my little square, and I'm relating it to the root. When I'm relating it to the root A, then the numbers are 1, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 4. Okay? Now I'm about to ask you, I'll quiz you guys a little bit. Let me see. Stop share. Stop share. How does that work? All right. So I'm going to quiz you a little bit, and hopefully you have that shape in the back of your mind. If you'd like to go and get it, it's 100% free. We just need your email and a login so you can access it. But and if you have an account with us, you already got that. But the shape is there, and also a track that I'm about to use. And what I want to do is I want to help your ears recognize the numbers as they relate to this A minor. So if I put a chord under it, then it's really clear that A is what this moment of the tune, at least, relates to as a center. So if A minor is going to be playing in my track, then that's what you're going to be perceiving as the root, as the resting point, as where gravity goes, right? Just to make sure everybody understands what I mean by this gravity thing, please let me know. Their voice box, because oh my gosh, I had a wonderful singer visit me the other day, and she was telling me all about these different singing techniques where she says she feels it in her nose and the nasal cavities all the way up to the forehead. I mean, it was unbelievable the way she was talking about this, right? We are in the bass. I can point to things. I can say lift your finger. I can say go a little more closer to the fret, but for her it's all inside her body, all the way down to the diaphragm. I mean, it was fascinating to listen to her. So singing technique is a heck of a thing, right? So if you don't feel like you can make your voice box do something, it doesn't mean that you don't have internal hearing, okay? It doesn't mean that you can't have really good ears. I've met some people over the years who just can't sing for the heck of it, but they have great ears. So it doesn't mean that if you can't sing that you don't have good ears, but it can mean that if you can use your voice, that you can make the internal hearing louder, right? Who still can hear the A? Ba! Still sitting in the room, right? So if you can sing it, then I can check myself. See, that's what's nice about being able to sing it. So then I can go, I think it's that. Da, right? Those are my 4 notes that I was working with. 1 7 1 3 4 3 1 7 1. A little hoarse, sorry. But I hope it does the purpose, right? So you have, it fulfills the purpose. So with the internal hearing, you can make it loud and you can check yourself. If your voice box doesn't do it, just imagine it and see if you imagined it right? All right, try to hear the A. Try to hear the A. There it is, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play 4 notes, 4 possible notes. I'm going to play all 4 of them. And I'm going to have you tell me what numbers I'm playing. So I might play 1 7 1 3. What would that sound like? Da, 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 da. You check yourself, right? Or, and I'm saying 7, meaning flat 7. It's a mouthful. Give me a break. I'm saying 3, meaning flat 3. It's a mouthful, so you know what I mean, right? 1 7 1 3 4, right? What if I had you do 1 1 7 1? Can you hear that? 1 1 7 1. Check it. 1 1 7 1. You know, I like this type of ear training so much better than having some of these little apps that ask you what is the interval. You probably all know these little ear training apps, and they're not useless. I'm not saying that at all. They help you ingrain the theory, da-da-da-da-da. But in the heat of the moment, when you are in your band, when you're trying to figure out a bass line off the recording, those kind of practical situations, right? You're doing yourself much better service to approach ear training like this because it's in a context. It's not in a vacuum, right? And I could give you one of my favorite examples for examples, and then I'll get to the drill. But for example, people often say, like, use song beginnings to figure out whether something is major or minor, like major or minor thirds heard back to back, that you can have a certain cliche where people say major. That's happy sounding, right? Oh yeah, that sounds happy. And if I hear that right next to the minor version, you can hear it's a little sadder, right? It's a little more depressed, kind of. That's minor. That's major, right? But if I take that out of context, I'm running a little bit of a risk that in the context where it shows up, it might not work. For example, people often use song beginnings to hear intervals, right? And it can be useful. Here comes the bride for the 4th up, right? But it's out of context. And the one that always makes me chuckle is the minor third descending. I have not found a song that actually starts with the real minor third descending, because most songs that people tell you, like, maybe Alone Together would be one. Okay, so I'm answering my own question. But one, for example, that often is given as the minor third descending is Hey Jude. However, if I extend that into the context of the song, then I am actually playing a major third. So here that is Hey Jude, right? But if I extend that and add the C below, then I have a major triad, right? So what is supposedly sad sounding because it's a minor third, I can make that happy sounding just by adding a note on the bottom. So it is a little bit dangerous to just take things into this total isolation. That's why what I do, I like way better, because this is how it's going to show up in your professional world. Okay, whether it's a recording, whether it's a tune you take off of an album, or whether it's a song you want to write, or you want to, it's always in a context. So here we go. I'm going to play. I want to play. Everybody good with sound? Thank you for your nice comments, guys. Thank you, Seth. This is good to hear. Some people have a little bit of trouble with the sound. You couldn't hear the bass. Okay, track is too loud. That seems to be coming from most people. So how on earth do I turn this down? Here. Oh yeah, because it's full tilt. All right. I might barely hear it, but that's okay. Let me know if this is better. This is the track now. We are still. The more equipment you get, the harder it is to make it work the way you want it. So let me know if this is better. Sounds the same, still distorted. All right, I'm gonna take the switcher down. 2 clicks, still 2 clicks, still too loud, still overpowering. Okay, how's it now? Hang on, I heard you. Give me. Oh golly, I did this. Let me see, mixer, aux master. Okay, so this should be the aux is going down quite a bit. This is barely up. Oh gosh, okay. Still too loud. Well, I'll tell you what, then I'll just pivot to a different way of doing this. No bass, all track. Way above voice and bass. Okay, better. Okay, what I'll do is I'll do it without the track. Can you all hear the bass okay? I turned this down massively now. Are you on the right audio here? Are you on the right audio? Audio, Blackmagic Design. Yes, that's what it should be. Mic and speaker is codec. That's what it should be. Automatically adjust volume. I don't know what that does. Maybe. Nah. I won't do that. Okay. Can you hear this? Can you hear the bass? Can you hear the bass? If you would just type a whole sentence, because yes, no, I don't know where it relates to. So, will this be available on replay? It is theoretically recording. I think I can make that happen. Yeah. And it should sit on YouTube, I believe, MJ. So, okay. Better. Bass okay? Okay. Bass and voice is clear. Thanks, guys. All right. So, this is my one. Okay? And I am going to disguise my hands so you can't pick it up from what I'm playing. Can hear it. Okay, I can go 1 click back up. The switcher tends to click. But because I'm doing the switcher, I'm in sync. So that's another thing we got to think about. All right, so I'm going back to my, I'm going to go to the screen here. Oh no, you got infinity. All right, move this over there. I'll just do the screen share again. So I'm sharing my screen and you can see the shape again. And I'm going to hide my fingers right behind that screen. And so don't look. Maybe I can go here. No, here. Then you can not really see what I'm doing with my left hand. I just want you to guess. Okay, so here's my track. In my mind. It's playing in my mind. I'm putting a metronome on. How about that? That'll do. So we'll have a metronome. And here we go. 2, 3, 4. What scale degrees was I playing? And you can grab your bass and play it after me. I'm hiding my fingers, Lionel. Are you Lionel of the burp fame? You wrote me an email wanting to learn about the burps in walking bass. I think that was you. Been calling them burps ever since. Yeah. I'm laying 1, 1, 7, 7, 1. Good. Here comes a new one. Yeah, that's right, Lila. Same thing. But now a new one. One, 3, 1, 3, 4, 3. Very nice. Flat 3 and 4ths. Yeah, very nice. Almost. Somebody said 1, 2. Here's the thing. If you ever get something wrong in ear training, actually rejoice, because it gives you the opportunity to hear what you thought you heard. It's also another thing I don't like about these apps. Once you get it wrong, you get a, and that's the end of it, right? I want to correct it. So somebody thought it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, I believe, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, right? So the 2 is not part typically of the minor pentatonic, even though it's a note that definitely works when you are in a context of a minor pentatonic, but it's not part of the actual scale. So, right? And maybe you meant it's the second note of the scale, could be, but the scale degree is 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 3. Okay, let's do a couple more. No bad, nothing. Ellen, thanks for helping us learn. Okay, here a couple more. 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 1, 7, 1, 1. Yes, well done. Exactly. Very, very well done. So, see, my recommendation is you get with a buddy, you decide on a couple of notes. You can even do it with yourself, you know? Even just come up with you're learning a shape, and whenever you want to learn music theory, right? Don't just go to the book and look up what the notes are and leave it at that. Pick a key, pick an area of the bass. You know, this drill, I can do it down here. I had planned to do it in 2 different chord progressions, and you will, if you go onto the onto my portal, onto that link that I've been telling you about. If you go there, then you can see further exercises. I just don't want to do them without the sound working properly. So, but you could do that with different, you know, for example, this one. What did I do? 4, 3, 1, 7, 1, 1, right? Do that in different areas of the bass. There's so many options where you can play this. They show up as boxes sometimes they show up as, you know, big boxes, sometimes they show up as little boxes. It teaches you so much, and you can just give yourself, and this is a fun drill that I do when I have a student with me in the room, right? We give each other little phrases. They're typically 4 beats long, like, that's me, then the student goes, hopefully, right? And then the student plays one back at me. And what the funniest thing is, and the students always want to do me in, and they go, okay, but you have to be able to repeat it too, right? So it's fine to give complex stuff, but you have to be able to repeat it too. And I want to challenge you to try that. Just 4 simple beats, you know, without overextending yourself and making them mean something. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, if you look at all these great bass groups that are pentatonic based, they're not crazy fast, crazy. Some of them are, which is cool, but they are oftentimes just really, you know, that'll get you through a song, no problem. And you know, there's so many. Paraphrasing, I always get one of these little ones wrong on that dude, but you know what I mean, right? It's not having to be complicated. And if you want to do this drill, it is such a great drill, because I've met a lot of students also who get thrown by rhythm, right? They get thrown by that there's a downbeat, right? And if that's you, oh, where's the beat, right? Then this is one of the best drills you can do. You notice my metronome goes ding, donk, 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 ding. So that will hook you up to where the downbeat is. And if you give yourself an assignment, I didn't do that always here because it's different drill, but if you want to start doing that, give yourself the assignment, and on every downbeat you can put the root, right? And then you can do whatever you want. repeat it. Just repeat it over and over 4 times, let's say. One more. And here's a new one. Right, and do that one 4 times, and then songs start coming to your mind, and because it's mine, Pentatonic, it's everywhere. So, but what I'm after is helping you combine this fact that there's a root and all these other notes that relate to the root in a certain way. It's just 5 notes. I mean, they can be above and they can be below, right? So there's different relationships that they can have. Like, for example, that G could be a whole step below the root, or it could be a minor 7 above the root. That's why we need to know inversions, folks. Right? A to G, minor 7th, A to G, major 2nd, they're inversions of each other, right? So it's simple, but there are some, little tricks around it that sometimes can trick your ear, right? But you relate it to a root, you fill 4 beats, and then you repeat whatever you just played, whether it's good or whether it's bad, 4 times, and then you do a new one. This is great for concentration. It is great for getting your rhythm into your body, feeling, oh, downbeat, I'm on the root, do something else, and downbeat, and then I do something else, right, for 3 beats, and then downbeat again. It is great training. And if you've ever dropped the beat or added the beat or added half a beat or put a syncopation on the downbeat or some of those things that tend to sometimes happen, this is a great cure for it. And you don't have to do hours and hours of it. But I'm telling you, drilling like this, 5 minutes, blows ear training app for years out of the water because it's much more applicable. And you are in charge because you are coming up with these little things, right? So try that. And if you have a buddy, guitar, bass, bass piano, bass singer, give them to each other. I do one, you copy me, you do one, I copy you, right? And you keep doing it back and forth. And my rule is always, if let's say everybody get your basses out and try to copy this one here. Just doing something simple, nothing crazy. So So let's say your partner doesn't get it, right? And if your partner doesn't get it, then you just keep repeating it until they do. But you must never, ever leave out the downbeat, okay? So what sometimes happens is that, we have a false start, shall we say. I give you something like, and the person goes, wrong. Let me try again, right? And they want to start right in the beat. No. Okay? That's not allowed. You have to always wait till the top of the beat comes along and then try it again. Because if that happens in a song situation, you don't get the luxury of a second start, right? We do here, but you must adhere to the beat. Because that's very dangerous. If you practice a lot, you just drop in a beat here and there. Oh, I'm just going to start over. That didn't happen, right? That didn't happen just now that I got the wrong note or whatever. It's a bit dangerous. I hope that makes sense. How y'all doing? To be honest, I understand chord inversions even less than I do chords. Well, you got to start with chord inversions. And Seth, I'm sure you're actually doing better than you think. The famous thing, I'll very briefly go into this because this is a famous sidetrack rabbit hole. I don't want to go down too deep. But what the problem with inversions is people overthink it. If I say to you, D, play me a 5th up, what do you get? D, play me a 5th up. Thanks for your nice comments, guys. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. Error for the first link. Oh, it's maybe because you have to sign in. Oh, I will. Error for the first link. Courses ear training stream. That's not working? All right, I'll fix it, guys. I don't see why it wouldn't, but it's published. It's published. It's in the category. I did all that I'm supposed to do, I think. Is anybody getting it, or is everybody getting a error for that first link? Okay. Thank you, Fred, for jumping in. So I am answering the question about inversions. So here's the thing. D. Oh, that was my question. Yeah, D, A up a fifth, right? Somebody said G. That's from D down a fifth. Right? So if I'm going from D up a fifth, folks, makes this shape. This shape. 2 frets, 1 string. I call it a 2x1. On my wall chart, which you can right now not get on Amazon, you can only get it on my website, is DA, 2 frets, 1 string. It's my formula. 2 up, 1 over, right? It's a 2x1, right? That shape is a fifth. It's a fifth ascending and it's a fifth descending, right? And then people go, but Ari, if I play, let's say, a bossa, right? I can do it like this, I can go like this. Well, yeah, and when you're doing that, you're playing a different shape. You're playing a fourth, which is the inversion of the fifth. And you are assuming that we are in the key of D, and that the D is the 1 and the A is the 5, right? So when you're playing D to A and it has the function of the fifth, it's because I'm in the key of D. But I didn't tell you any key. I just said play A fifth up from D. And yeah, that's a very subtle distinction, but you have no idea how many people later on when they want to do more advanced stuff really fall all over themselves because they don't understand that. There is a difference between playing the fifth scale degree of D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or 1 or 8, 7, 6, 5. If I do that from D, I will land on the fifth above because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or I will land on the fifth of D below 8, 7, 6, 5, which by the way is the inversion. The learning here is a fourth and a fifth are inversions of each other, right? But if I say play a fifth descending from D, we're getting what Leela said. We're getting a G, right? Because now I'm playing the interval of a fifth below the D, not the 5 of D major, right? Because if I'm in the key of G major, then this is 1 and this is 5. You see what I'm saying? And this is really, I'm in the wrong camera on. So I hope this makes sense. This is really, really an important distinction because the fifth scale degree in the key of D is A here and A here. But if I say play me the interval of a fifth below the D, not in the key of D, but just the interval, then this shape is a fifth. And we overcomplicate it. We assume we're in a key. We assume we're, oh, I've done that in a song. I could go like country right here, or I can go here, right? So you're right, but not really. And this is what inversions are. And you need to know inversions as a bass player because you need to know that if you want to, get to a certain note, you can go there by going up a fifth or going down a fourth, right? That leads you to the same note. That's what inversions are. And essentially, it's all in my theory book. There's a whole chapter on inversions. And I think they're extremely important as bass players. Like here's another example. Right, you have all played that ending, right? Going up a major third, then just chromatic, and then finish up the scale up on top. So if let's say for whatever reason you don't want to go up a major third, which is what I'm doing here as my first jump, I want to go down a minor 6 and play the exact same thing. Right? Now I'm just displacing the octave. So you can think of an inversion as an octave displacement, and you can think of it like when you have a glass of water and there's water up to here, and that's my major third, then a minor 6 is missing to get to the octave, and that's what the inversion is. A great drill for this, is if you play a major scale, right? In this case, you're allowed to do it from the root to the root. I'm not a big root to root fan, right? And people who know me know I like to start from the lowest possible note in a certain position and go to the highest possible note in that position. So when I go and play that scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, play the root of that scale in between every scale degree, like this. 1 major second, 1 major third, and now what I'm saying is the intervals, right? From here to here, that's a major second. From here to here, that's a major third. From here to here, perfect fourth. From here to here, perfect fifth. From here to here, major sixth. And if you go through my book, Music Theory for the Bass Player, they are all in there. Every single shape with good fingerings, the most common shapes that you need are in there. So, and this drill is in the book too. Major six, major seven, octave. Okay, everybody with me? Major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major six, major seven, perfect octave. Okay, those are the intervals going up, and I'm going to play all the inversions. And you notice they were either major or perfect, right? Fourths and fifths and octaves are perfect. And the seconds and the thirds and the sixths and the sevenths, they are major or minor. I can't tell you, play a third up, unless the context is clear, right? You'd have to say major or minor, right? But I can tell you, play a fifth up, because it's usually going to be a perfect fifth, unless I say diminished or augmented fifth, right? There's that. Okay, but I did, again, one more time, major second, on the camera, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seven, and octave, okay? And now you do the opposite. You go and relate every single one of these intervals with that top octave. So now I'm going minor second, right? Because the major seventh and the minor second are inversions of each other, right? I had, from here to here, I had a major second, right? From here to here, that's a minor seventh. So you can slice it any old way you like. But a major seventh from the bottom plus a minor second are inversions of each other. They make up the octave. So now I'm going from the top in all the inversions of said intervals. So minor second, minor third. This used to be a major six, right? If I go up, major six plus a minor third are inversions of each other, right? Now I'm going down, a perfect fourth. This used to be the perfect fifth up from the bottom. Ergo, a perfect fourth and a perfect fifth are inversions of each other, right? I'm going down, and look, it works with the fifth also. A perfect fifth and a perfect fourth are inversions of each other, right? So, perfect fifth, minor six and a major third are inversions of each other, right? Minor seventh, and a major second are inversions of each other, right? And then perfect octave. So again, from the bottom, major second, major third, fourth, fifth, major six, major seven, octave, and from the top down, minor second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor seventh, perfect octave. And when you learn a scale, don't go whole, whole, half. It will do you in. Instead, do this. You know that the scale degrees are between 3/4 and 7/8. They are half steps, right? So 3/4 and 7/8, they are half steps. All the other ones are whole steps. So there's your major scale. This is much more applicable than going whole, half, whole, half, where you can miscount. And it's not a sound. To me, when I say major second up, it's a sound. The two, right? Scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, that's a half step, minor second. 1 to the 7, that's a major seventh. Ergo, major 7 plus minor second are inversions of each other. I hope this helps. My playing is vastly beyond my theory comprehension. The way in which you are describing it makes perfect sense. I'm glad to hear that, Seth. Inversions are often very halfway explained. So, I hear you. There are often a lot of assumptions are being made. Oftentimes it's only explained in one key, and that key is C. We're all rocking C and the modes in C and all that, but then do it in F. And in blues we use a lot of flat thirds and flat sevens. Yes, Seth, because they're called the blue notes. Also the flat 5. If you have your minor pentatonic and we add that flat 5 in it, you get the blues scale. And if I were in the major blues scale, then I add the flat 3. So yeah, you're right. A lot of flat thirds, flat sevens, and even flat 5. You are welcome, Ulm. Greetings from Germany here. That's lovely. Okay, folks, I think I'm gonna leave it right there. There was lots more that I had prepared, but I need the backing tracks, and we got to a lot of stuff. So I will make sure that we will post the link to the assets I want you to have, And I also really want you to know about my 10-week live practice group. This is a practice group where we meet on Zoom, live of us. So typically have groups between the size of 8 to 38, I think is my biggest group, people. And everybody has a little tile on Zoom. I watch your fingers, I ask questions, we use the chat. It's very interactive. Nobody is being made to play, but you're very much encouraged to do so. And in the ear training classes that we've done so far, they've been very, very popular. We have done, the first one was we would take songs from recordings, and I will show you exactly how to do that. We will also talk about rhythm, how when you hear, pitches connected with rhythm, it can really mess with our perception. So we disconnect the two, we learn just the rhythm, then we learn just the pitches, then we put them together. It's a wonderful way to learn how to transcribe, because I want to get you away from the tab. In principle, I'm not against tab, because if you know it and it helps you, I want to use whatever you already know. So I'm not saying, oh, your tab is not the real deal. Great, of course, it's better to read, and I don't know tab very well. I'll tell you that too, because I read way better. But I always bring it in because students, I know a lot of students just come from the YouTube tradition. They come from tabs, 911, what have you, and that's how they learn songs. But there are lots and lots of mistakes in those things, and I highly recommend you use your ears. And when you use them and train them in the way that I just showed you, which is exactly the drills that we do in every single one of those practice sessions, then you will learn how to rely on your ears rather than some letters and numbers somebody else figured out. So I'd like to invite you all to that. And again, we will make sure you have all those assets that I promised available to you. And here again is the sign up link for the stream. I will also go on YouTube. And Fred, I don't know where you're listening in from, but if you can post that on YouTube, that'd be great too, because I think I'm not reaching, oh no, I'm reaching YouTube. I need it on Facebook. So it's arispaceblock.com/practice-ears-2. And it's also on my homepage right now, arispaceblock.com. So this group is starting this week, and we will meet live for an hour and practice pitches, practice rhythms, and transcribe songs together. And what we did with the last round of folks is we had the students pick one of the songs that we did, because we got a great set list together. It was really fun. We had Lowrider, and I forget what else we had, but I do so many different groups, so I start mixing them what I do. But we had a really nice set list together, and then everybody could pick a tune and present it in the end. So I don't make you play, but I'd love to see you, because you get some feedback, and there was a lot of encouragement and just a heck of a great vibe. So everybody's there to learn, and we had people have several different backgrounds as well. Some people that played in bands, so it was nothing new to them, so they were kind of routine, and others for who it was new, and everybody was very supportive of each other, and everybody picked whatever was good for their level. So it lends itself to a lot of different levels. So if you like that kind of teaching, tune in and figure it out. And we will figure it out with the links on which day. I believe it is a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And it starts this week, guys. So it is at Friday at, is it 9 a.m., Fred? I think so. On that link, it should, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. Pacific. 9 a.m. Pacific starts January 28th. And it's tunes A, so that's just for me to know which tunes I'm doing, because I repeat tunes, so I know for myself, depending on who's in the class, which ones I'm doing. So that's all I got. I hope this was useful, guys. I hope this was useful. Any last questions, wishes, concerns? Let me know. And exactly what I've been working on, inversions. Practicing above the root and below the root. Super. That sounds great, Ellie. Well, I'm very happy you guys enjoyed that. So I hope you consider signing up. It's we have payment options. It lasts 10 weeks. They're packed with stuff. Practice groups are nice because they're so motivating. So most people practice in between the sessions. There's no requirement. There's no test or what have you. But it is very motivating to get those things that we work on under your belt, because you know the others will probably look at it too. So you want to be, part of it. So if motivation is something you struggle with, those practice groups have been really, really helpful to a lot of people. And I get to see you. So I hope I do on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and we'll take it from there. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Cheers.